Hey, what's going on guys, my name is Brad, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS video. Today we're going to be doing a breakdown of all of the clips and footage we got from today's Yu-Gi-Oh! Labo. As you may have seen on the channel already, we got a full-length 30-second trailer for the anime, as well as a ton of other clips. There's a link in the description down below to the trailer on my channel if you missed it or you want to watch it again. Assuming that NAS or TV Tokyo haven't issued me with that copyright strike, it should still be up. But we're going to be going through the trailer and then we're going to go through all of the clips and stuff and be breaking down some of the things in this show that look a little bit interesting. So, of course, first of all, we got this standard shot of Den City. And then we see Yuusaku and Kusanagi Shoichi just hanging out and talking at his hot dog stand. Obviously, you can see he's cooking the hot dogs right there. Now, I believe at one point in this trailer, Yuusaku and Kusanagi actually have this conversation, and Yuusaku says, "I'll make the people who stole your younger brother and my past pay." Now, thanks to Dylan or Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything for pointing this out, DMC said this. That's really, really cool that we're going to have, if it is to Kusanagi at least, that we're going to have these two people who've been majorly affected by the Knights of Hanoi, both, trying to track them down, both trying to get answers for what's happened, and just try and resolve things and see if it's possible to do anything about it, like to get his younger brother back. I'm wondering, and now this is something that someone else brought up in a Discord I was in, and it's just a random thought, what if Kusanagi's younger brother is the mysterious identity, the mysterious entity, the mysterious creature? It's something they could possibly do. I mean, I'm highly doubtful that that is it, because that would be completely weird, but it would be a first for a Yu-Gi-Oh! Show, so I guess they could go with that. But apart from that, there's not much else to that scene. I mean, it's nice having a younger brother character. Usually it's like the female that has that, or the rival. I mean, obviously think back to Zayo, you had Haruto and Kaito. But Kusanagi isn't Yusaku's rival, which is different. He's basically Yusaku's mentor, he's his partner in crime, in air quotes, if you could say that. And I think it's going to be cool dynamic to see these two teaming up, not just because they're both hackers, but to team up because they both have this common goal. They both want to get revenge on the Knights of Hanoi. Okay, another shot Yuusaku at night time. I think we see more of this later on. Okay, now we're in the VR space. So, at least that's what I think, based on some of the other shots we get. This could still be real world, because we know that Go doesn't have any difference between his VR form and out of VR form. And obviously the world that they're in now does look very much like the real world, but obviously we know that the link brain system is based over the real world. We've seen it in some of the old promotional pictures, and some of the things later on actually sort of solidify that for me as well. But it looks like we're going to be seeing Go at least dueling someone, maybe in the first episode, which would be quite cool. I think it'd be nice if this is the event that kicks off the whole of the VRAINS series. Would be not Yusaku's duel, but someone else's duel. Okay, now this is the bit. This is obviously Aoi. This is Blue Angel in her VR form. So obviously the real world and the VR world are very, very much identical. As you can see, this just looks like normal traditional buildings. And as soon as I saw this, I was kind of reminded from a scene from Sword Art Online. It reminds me of one of those, one of the cities in the Aincrad arc of Sword Art Online, which again just brings the parallels back into play. Obviously, I did that video a couple of weeks ago talking about is Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS the new Sword Art Online, and this just adds fuel to the fire, I guess. But we get to see Aoi acting, cheerfully. We heard her voice in the labo, especially I believe it was the Blue Angel voice. She definitely sounded very cheerleadery and like she was putting on an act. Like, I hope that's not her real voice, because it was a bit too high pitched. It did sound like a performer, so that's gonna be cool to see. And here we go. Here's the man himself, or the thing himself, the mysterious life form. Looking rather swagger. I think this guy's going to be the comedy relief of the show, really. I think we're going to have a Sawatari, but as a mysterious life form. And this guy is obviously revealing himself very early on in the show, and then I don't know whether the trailer actually shows the scene, but I'll show it later on, because it's involving another very high-profile character for the show. But looks like we're going to be seeing this guy very, very early on, especially. Just look at that pose. He looks so confident, and just so his face just. It gives off to the fact that I think it's going to be a really cheeky character. I think that's what it's going to be like. Okay, right. Now here's the interesting bit. As you can see here, there's Kraken Dragon in the background, and there's this portal-y type thing that opens up. Now this, to me, as we watch the next couple of clips, we see, yep, Kraken Dragon come through. And there we see Go. We see Go's duel is being live streamed across like the entire city. That's what it seems like. So obviously, I believe Go is in a duel, and then this Kraken Dragon comes through. So the Knight of Hanoi comes after Go. I think is what's going to happen in this duel. And then we see the TV screens start to flicker. We see that also when Aoi's in her other part of the VR world. So maybe these attacks are happening all over the VR world at once, not just in Go's duel, maybe in Aoi's duel as well. And Yuusaku has to choose who is he going to, who's going to be there for who. Like I wonder if Yuusaku is there when the Knight of Hanoi comes for Aoi, or maybe Kusanagi is there when Knight of Hanoi comes for Go, or maybe these things are, they do like a time skip thing. Maybe they happen at different times. We don't know yet. Yeah, there we go. Kraken Dragon comes riding through, smashing through the link VRAINS. I don't know why it's guarded off. That's the thing. It's as though they're coming through from a different dimension type thing. So cue all the Dark Side Dimensions theories coming into this. But it's smashing through. So are the Knights of Hanoi are they based somewhere deep, like outside of Link VRAINS, or in between the dark space between Link VRAINS and somewhere else? Because we know there's the AI world known as Cyberse. Maybe they're actually from Cyberse and they're trying to destroy it. Maybe there's something else going on. But yeah, Kraken Dragon's animation looks absolutely amazing in here. All the animation looks good. We can see the Knight of Hanoi riding on Kraken Dragon as well. Once again, we see him riding on Kraken Dragon here. Now, this is obvious. He's going to go to Aoi, or he's going to face Aoi. So I wonder if there's multiple Knights of Hanoi at the same time going to fight Aoi and Go, and a bunch of the other main entertainment charisma duelists, which is going to set off this huge chain of events for the whole of the VRAINS show. Kind of reminds me of the scene of Shun from Burn, I believe it's the second opening for Arc 5, when he's riding on his Raidraptoric Seas monster. It definitely reminds me of that scene a lot. But this guy doesn't look evil. Like, he's just, it doesn't look too evil. It looks very playful. Like, it's meant to put people off because he's a bad guy, but his mask looks so inviting, I guess. Could be a cool thing for them to play off a bit. And there we see Yuusaku slamming his deck into his duel disc in his normal school uniform outfit. And then into the VRAINS, he connects to the Link VRAINS system. And this is cool, because what this means is this actually confirms how Yuusaku goes into VR. And it's all powered by the dual disc, which is really cool. It's definitely a really good future take on VR, where you don't need any additional device, don't need any headset. You're just immediately taken there and you're immediately transformed. And again, that also reminds me of from Zale, when Yuma was in the numbers, the sphere with all the number cards on. A lot of parallels to a ton of different shows in this one, which it's looking very good. Okay, yep, and then Playmaker, that looks like he's jumping into the VR world. Yep, and then there we see him synchro summon. That's something I pointed out when I was live reacting with a bunch of friends. It really looks like Yuusaku is synchro summoning himself, which obviously he's not. Obviously this is just how he goes to the VR world, I guess, how he gets teleported there. We just don't know what this VR world is like. That's the thing, the big thing that's just clouding my mind is, what is this VR world actually like? How do people actually get there? What is the technology used behind it? And I wonder if that's going to be a big part of this show, is uncovering the mysteries of Link VRAINS and what's wrong with it, in a sense. Okay, then we have Akira Zaisen, Aoi's relative. We still don't know if it's a father or a brother. I'm going to say it's a father. I'm going to continue to say it's a father. He looks worried that something's gone into Link VRAINS, and obviously this is probably when the huge attack from the Knights of Hanoi happens, or when Yuusaku maybe goes into Link VRAINS. Maybe he's been watching over Yuusaku and notices the Playmaker has come into Link VRAINS, and he's now worried because some bad events can happen, because he maybe knows about the past and what happened in Yusaku's past that Yuusaku doesn't remember, which could be cool. And there we go. Our first awesome shot of Revolver, looking incredibly menacing. I believe behind him is also Kraken Dragon. Like, it's just got that green glow behind the VRAINS logo, which looks really nice. The shading on his character looks really cool. Again, I hope we get this guy stays hidden. His face stays hidden, his true identity stays hidden for the entirety of, the first 20-25 episodes. I'd love it if we didn't see who this guy was. And then there was a nice big reveal towards the end. And then, yep, this is just a continuation of the original scene we saw from the original video that was released back at the Anime Expo about a month ago, I believe. That'll be at the end of this video as well, because we got a nice, better quality version of that. We see Yuusaku riding the Data Wind on his dual board, his D-board, sorry. Okay, now we get into the good stuff. The stuff that wasn't included in the trailer but was included in the actual Labo episode. We see Revolver playing a card onto his dual disc. And then this happens. Now I don't think those two events are linked because obviously there was a monster being summoned up from Yuusaku, not from Yuusaku, from Revolver's card. So I'm guessing that's going to be his boss monster. Maybe a Topologic Bomber Dragon is actually going to be featured early on in the show. But we see here this awesome dual field. This awesome dual field with, it might not even be a dual field, it might be the Knights of Hanoi's headquarters because there's a lava around the bottom. There's this rainbow coloured barrier around things, and you see 1, 2, 3 Kraken Dragons. So maybe 3 members of the Knights of Hanoi. We know there is going to be the standard Knight of Hanoi. We know there's going to be Revolver, and we know there's going to be Spectre, who I believe we see later in this clip. Then again here, yeah. Here we see the mysterious AI, who is obviously in the same place as where those 3 Kraken Dragons are. So maybe this is within the first episode, and all these 3 Kraken Dragon users, the Knights of Hanoi, all come together, and they all find the mysterious AI. And then this is where Yuusaku comes in, and these two sort of work together, which I think could be quite cool for the first episode. Again, these two are going to have a really good relationship. We see some basic screens here. I believe this might be from the opening. This definitely looks like something that could be from the opening, especially here. Like these two people. Now, we know the one on the left is Revolver, but we don't know who the one in front is. Now, I'm guessing this guy is going to be Spectre, just because you would have these two together. But then again, this could be Revolver's real life form. They both have a similar sort of looking ear. They both have a similar sort of looking nose, I guess. But their eyes don't really match. And I think these two are... I don't think they'd reveal the identity of the true villain right away. Even if he is the true villain or not. But this guy I think is going to be Spectre. I think we'll see him very early on. Obviously we're going to hear from him in next week's episode, so that's going to be cool. What else do we get? It's hard to... Okay, here we go. She's not in next week's episode, which is not talking at least, but we finally see our first look at Emma Besso, looking absolutely stunning. Probably my favouritely designed character from this entire show, apart from Yuusaku's normal form. Just... Definitely going to be a bad character. She's going to be on the bad side. There's this purple aura around her. Maybe she's linked with the mysterious AI. Maybe she's related to it. I don't know. Like, there's a lot that could go around. Or maybe she's just a member of the Knights of Hanoi, which again would be a cool thing as well. Or maybe she's related to SOL Technology and she's a higher up in that company that's working behind the scenes and is infiltrating them, or something like that. There's a lot of things we could speculate regarding her character because we haven't seen anything of her apart from this. But she's going to be one character we definitely need to look out for in the show. And again, another nice new animation of Kraken Dragon declaring an attack. Haven't really got much on this, but this looks like... trying to think of what duel this would be, but it doesn't even seem like a duel. It seems like it could be in the opening, because it's got that same sort of effect that we've seen from all of whenever the VRAINS logo has been shown in these labos. It has that similar sort of effect. So maybe this is from the opening. Maybe this is from within the Knights of Hanoi's base, or maybe this is from a duel against Yuusaku, because I don't think we've seen anything of that, which would be quite cool. But it looks like this guy's declaring an attack. And now for an interesting bit. And this is showing Yuusaku and Naoki Shima, I believe his name is. And these two definitely seem to be buddies. Which I don't want, unless he's just challenging him to a duel, because he does have his deck thing. It looks like I'm taking it, it's the dual disc, because the blade comes out on its own. I'm wondering if these guys are actually going to be friends, even though I don't want them to be, because this guy just... He gives me that feeling of a bully, and I don't think Yuusaku would be the type of person to hang out with that crowd. But it seems interesting. I really, really hope these two are not friends. I wouldn't like that, but if they have to make him have a friend, sure. At least try and make him redeem himself if he is like a sort of a negative impact, or a negative, what's it called? A negative something. Or somewhere on Yuusaku. This guy just looks crazy, and Yuusaku just doesn't look like he's bothered, which to me just doesn't seem like he's a friend. It just, the way Yuusaku's reacted to this guy makes it just seem like, just shove off, leave me alone type thing. He's not really bothered at all. Some more shots of Aoi. Again, Aoi now in the VR world, seeing, because obviously she is a big performer, she's a big entertainer within the VR world, and I really like that they're doing this. They're going to have a lot of people in the VR world that aren't going to be duelists. They're just going to be watching because she's a good performer. Maybe they'll have... maybe this will be outside of VR. maybe this would be in the real world looking into VR, so, you know, people in major towns and cities can actually see what's going on in the VR world, which would also make sense. You know, if things are being live streamed, you know, that's kind of a bit of part of our culture today is live streaming, so that could be cool. More clips of Yuusaku looking out at the sun and seeing some birds. Now just a couple of pictures because I didn't cap these out of the episode. Yuusaku walking down a street, like, at night, and then looking back on his playmaker thing. I definitely think that could be a like a title end card, like to end on an episode on. Like I think that's what it seems like, or it'll be part of the opening. And then again a shot of Go Onizuka, who is a wrestler, entertainment duelist, so you know the stadium fits in perfectly. And finally, I believe we have the original, this original shot of Yuusaku drawing a card on his duel board, the one we saw from the very beginning of VRAINS. And that is it. That is everything we got from Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS today. We got an absolute ton. I think we're gonna be getting more this weekend. Potentially, we might be getting some more episode spoilers, episode summaries, and obviously cast list coming out next week as well. And then again, VRAINS episode 1 is airing on Wednesday, so a week from now I'll have my review up for episode 1 of VRAINS, hopefully, maybe a little bit later in the day. But thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. If you did enjoy, feel free to leave a like and a comment. It really helps me out, lets me know you guys are enjoying these VRAINS content. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS video. See you then.